Now this is old.
Harland Sanders was born on this farm near Henryville, Indiana in 1890. He was the oldest of 3 children and was only 6 years old when his father died. 4 years later, at 10 years of age, little Harland took his first paying job, living and working on the Charlie Norris farm near Henryville. Years ago, the colonel reflected upon that experience.
He put me to work back here in the woods, clearing new ground. And I cleared about an acre, I guess, that month, but there were a lot of squirrels, red birds, butterflies, more things to attract the fellow's attention than they were. And evidently, I didn't clear as much ground as he thought a boy ought to have cleared even. So at the end of that first month, he fired me and sent me home. Said he wouldn't feed me for me. So I went home, took my $2 to my mother. And when I gave her the $2 that I had gotten for the month's work and told her that Mr. Norris had fired me, he gave me a little lecture that I shall never forget. She said, "What on earth are you ever going to amount to? You're my oldest son, the oldest of the 3 children. You've got no father. I got nobody to help me depend on but you. And to think that you're so no count that you couldn't hold a job at $2 a month." Well, time she got through tongue lashing me, I felt just about as low as anybody could have ever felt. And I made a resolve then that I would never let hours or work or anything else to ever interfere with me doing the best job as possible. And if I ever got another job, I was sure going to prove to her that I was worthy of it.
The colonel got a lot of other jobs. He helped support his mother, brother, and sister by quitting school and going to work full-time when he was 12. He got more farm jobs, worked as a blacksmith's helper, sold tires, sold insurance, was a streetcar conductor in New Albany, enlisted in the Army at 16, was shipped to Cuba, and then got an early discharge. He even studied law through correspondence courses, wanting to be another Clarence Darrow. But it was the railroads that provided Sanders with many of his jobs as a young man. He even got involved in the steamboat business for a while, helping line up the financing for a local ferry boat operation. But it was here along Highway 25 in Corbin, Kentucky, where the colonel really began to make his mark on the world. In 1930, he came here and built a little service station. At that time, in the 30s and 40s, Highway 25 was one of the main routes to Florida. So there was a lot of traffic. That meant a lot of gas-hungry cars for the colonel to take care of, and a lot of hungry travelers. The colonel began to do a little cooking, and as they say, the rest is history. In fact, now there is an historical landmark here, the birthplace of Kentucky Fried Chicken. What started out in this building as a small family operation became one of the biggest restaurant enterprises the world has ever seen, and the colonel became famous the world over. He was a grandfather figure, and everyone seemed to love him. And we'll miss him.